Your soulmate can't stop thinking about you, the shocking reason they're still distant. Don't scroll, listen to this, because if these words found you right now, this message is for you, and your heart needs this right now more than you may even realize, because something is unfolding behind the scenes of your life that you've been feeling but maybe couldn't explain. Listen to this, that person who keeps coming to mind, the one you feel in quiet moments, the one whose energy brushes against yours when you least expect it. They are thinking about you too, constantly, not in a fleeting way, not in a passing curiosity, but in a deep, looping, soul-level way that refuses to quiet down. Don't scroll, stay with me, because the universe doesn't allow mutual thoughts to circulate like this without intention, and the reason this feels intense is because it is. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because you may have been wondering why, if they feel this connection so strongly, they're still distant. Why the silence lingers, why the space hasn't closed yet, and the answer might surprise you. Don't scroll, because their distance is not disinterest, it's not confusion, it's not rejection, it's restraint, and restraint only shows up when something matters deeply. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because your presence triggered something real in them, something that cracked open emotional layers they thought were sealed, something that made them question old patterns, past wounds, and whether they're truly ready to step into the kind of love that doesn't let you hide. Don't scroll, stay with me, because soul recognition doesn't always lead to immediate union, sometimes it leads to awakening, and awakening can be disorienting, unsettling, even frightening. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because when your soulmate thinks about you, it's not just memories they replay, it's the way you made them feel grounded and exposed at the same time, the way conversations lingered longer than expected, the way your energy felt familiar in a way that didn't make logical sense, and that familiarity is what shook them. Don't scroll, because familiarity at the soul level asks questions the mind can't ignore, questions like, why does this feel important, and what would it mean if this is real? Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because they are standing at a threshold, torn between wanting to step closer and needing to understand themselves first. Distance is how they're buying time to process feelings that arrived before they were prepared. Don't scroll, stay with me, because the universe has been trying to reassure you through signs, through numbers that keep showing up when you think about them. Angel numbers like 111 appearing when hope flickers, reminding you this connection was initiated on purpose, 222 showing up when doubt creeps in, telling you alignment is still in progress, 444 appearing when you feel calm without answers, letting you know you're protected even in the waiting. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because these signs are not telling you to chase or question yourself, they're telling you to trust the process. Don't scroll, because the shocking reason they're distant is that they're afraid of mishandling something sacred, afraid of stepping forward before they can show up honestly, fully, without armor, and distance feels safer than rushing into a connection they sense could change their life. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because you didn't imagine the depth, you didn't misread the energy, and you didn't make it up in your head. Mutual soul awareness creates a pull that doesn't fade just because space exists. Don't scroll, stay with me, because while you may feel the silence on the surface, underneath it they are fighting an internal battle between desire and self-protection, between wanting closeness and fearing vulnerability, and that battle is exhausting. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because the universe often separates soulmates temporarily not to punish them, but to prepare them, to make sure when they do come together, it's not from fantasy or desperation, but from clarity and choice. don't scroll, because this is where many people lose faith and assume distance means failure, but in divine timing, distance often means calibration, the universe aligning courage with readiness, emotion with responsibility. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because your soulmate isn't pulling away from you, they're pulling inward to confront truths they can't ignore anymore, truths about what they want, what they deserve, and whether they're ready to meet you at the depth this connection demands. Don't scroll, stay with me, because something is building quietly, a realization, a shift, a moment where thinking will no longer be enough and intention will want expression, and when that moment comes, it may feel sudden to you, but it will have been forming all along. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because you are not forgotten in the silence, you are being considered carefully, deliberately, and with more weight than you know. Don't scroll, because this is only part one, the universe is just beginning to reveal why this distance exists, and why it may be protecting something meant to last. Stay grounded, stay open, and trust that if they can't stop thinking about you, the story is far from over, it's only pausing at the edge of something meaningful, waiting for the right moment to move forward. Don't scroll, listen to this, because if you're here for part 2, this message didn't stop with curiosity or coincidence. It followed you, and that alone is a sign that your heart needs this right now, because what's really happening beneath the distance is far deeper than silence. Listen to this, your soulmate hasn't stopped thinking about you for even a moment, but the way those thoughts are showing up now has shifted. They're no longer just memories or daydreams, they've turned into questions, reflections, and emotional weight that sits with them when they wake up and when they try to fall asleep. Don't scroll, stay with me, because this is where most people misunderstand distance. They assume distance means detachment, but in soulmate connections, distance often means containment. Your soulmate is holding back not because the feelings aren't strong, but because they're stronger than expected. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because when someone realizes they're emotionally affected by another person in a way they can't control, their instinct isn't always to move closer, sometimes it's to slow everything down so they don't lose themselves in it. Don't scroll, because the shocking truth is this, your soulmate is afraid of rushing into something that feels divinely significant before they've fully healed the parts of themselves that could sabotage it. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because your presence activated unresolved emotions in them, old wounds, old fears, patterns they thought they were past, and instead of projecting those onto you, they chose distance as a form of self-responsibility. Don't scroll, stay with me, because that choice tells you something important. This isn't someone avoiding connection. This is someone respecting it enough not to contaminate it with unprocessed pain. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because while they appear distant on the surface, internally they are anything but calm. They are replaying moments with you, noticing how different it felt, how safe and exposed at the same time, how your energy didn't demand but invited, and that invitation scared them because it felt real. Don't scroll, because the universe has been communicating this process to you through signs meant to keep you steady, angel numbers appearing when you start to spiral, 222 showing up when patience is required, reminding you that balance is still being formed, 333 appearing when you feel emotionally heavy, signaling that guidance and support surround you, 444 showing up when you feel strangely calm, letting you know this pause is protected. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because these numbers aren't telling you to wait forever, they're telling you this pause has purpose. Don't scroll, because the distance is not empty space, it's active space. Space where your soulmate is confronting a truth they can't unsee anymore, that being with you would require honesty, vulnerability, and emotional presence, and they are asking themselves whether they're ready to rise to that level. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because your soulmate doesn't want to step forward halfway. They don't want to bring confusion, inconsistency, or mixed intentions into something that feels sacred, and distance is how they're preventing that. Don't scroll, stay with me. Because this is where the spiritual awakening deepens. Awakenings don't feel like bliss at first, they feel like disruption, like the universe shining a light on parts of you that need attention before you can move forward, and your soulmate is in that phase now. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because you may be tempted to interpret their distance as rejection and pull away emotionally, but the universe is gently asking you not to collapse inward, not to self-abandon, not to rewrite the story in fear. Don't scroll, because here's the emotional revelation that changes everything. The reason they can't stop thinking about you is the same reason they're being cautious. Your connection feels life-altering to them, and life-altering things require preparation. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because they are imagining two paths, one where they stay distant and protect their current emotional stability, and one where they step closer and allow themselves to be changed. And change is both exciting and terrifying. Don't scroll, stay with me, because the universe doesn't rush people through transformation, it gives them time to choose consciously, and that's what's happening here. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because the distance you feel is not the end of the story. It's the pause before a decision that will shape how this connection moves forward. Don't scroll, because something is shifting even now, internally, energetically, spiritually. The pressure of holding back is growing heavier than the fear of moving forward, and when that balance tips, expression becomes inevitable. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because when your soulmate does move closer, it won't feel impulsive or confusing, it will feel grounded, intentional, and real. Don't scroll, stay with me, because this is only part 2, and the universe is still unfolding the truth layer by layer, preparing both of you for what comes next. And what comes next is not distance forever, it's clarity, and clarity always arrives after patience has done its work. Don't scroll, listen to this, because if you're here for part 3, this message has stayed with you for a reason, and your heart needs this right now in a way that feels both steady and intense, because what's happening beneath the distance has reached a turning point. Listen to this, your soulmate's thoughts about you are no longer drifting or looping aimlessly, they are organizing themselves into meaning, into truth, into a realization that can't be pushed aside anymore, and that realization is this. Whatever this connection is, it is not casual, and casual rules no longer apply. Don't scroll, stay with me, because this is the phase where the universe applies gentle pressure, not to rush, but to clarify, and clarity is uncomfortable before it becomes freeing. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because your soulmate has been trying to live their normal life while carrying you quietly in the background of their mind. And that balance is starting to fail. They notice your name in unrelated places, they feel your energy during moments that should be neutral, they sense you during decisions that have nothing to do with romance, and that's when they realize this is deeper than attraction. Don't scroll, because when a connection bleeds into unrelated parts of life, it's no longer optional to ignore it. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because your soulmate is beginning to understand that distance hasn't quieted the connection the way they hoped. It has amplified it, made it clearer, sharper, more honest, and that's unsettling when you were hoping space would make things simpler. Don't scroll, stay with me, because this is where the emotional truth sharpens. The distance exists because your soulmate is standing at a crossroads between staying emotionally safe and stepping into something that would require courage, vulnerability, and presence. And they are aware now that either choice will change them. Listen to this, your heart needs this. Right now, because they are no longer asking, "Do I feel something?" They are asking, "Am I ready to be responsible for what I feel?" And responsibility is what separates fleeting attraction from soul connection. Don't scroll, because the universe has been communicating with both of you through subtle but persistent signs, angel numbers appearing not just once but in patterns. 111 when a sense of new beginning flickers unexpectedly. 222 when patience is tested but balance holds. 333 when emotional heaviness is paired with reassurance. 444 when you feel grounded despite uncertainty. Those numbers are not asking you to wait blindly, they are asking you to stay aligned while clarity forms. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because the reason this phase feels long is because it's doing deep work, the kind of work that prevents repeating old cycles. Your soulmate is reviewing past relationships, past mistakes, past moments where they rushed or hid or avoided, and they are realizing that you do not fit into those old patterns, which means they cannot approach you the same way. Don't scroll, stay with me, because this is where hesitation is often misread as lack of interest, but in reality it's discernment, the kind that comes when someone senses that a wrong move could damage something meaningful. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because the distance you feel is not empty, it's full of consideration, full of inner dialogue, full of quiet questions like, how do I show up without hurting this, and, how do I step forward without losing myself? Don't scroll, because those questions only arise when something matters deeply. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because while you may be wondering if you should pull back emotionally to protect yourself, the universe is gently reminding you that self-protection doesn't require self-erasure. You can stay open without chasing, grounded without withdrawing, present without forcing. Don't scroll, stay with me, because this phase is as much about your growth as theirs. You are being asked to trust your intuition without letting it turn into anxiety, to honor what you feel without demanding immediate resolution. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because your soulmate is approaching a realization they cannot avoid anymore, that staying distant forever would cost them more than stepping closer with intention, but intention requires readiness, and readiness can't be faked. Don't scroll, because the universe does not bring soulmates together before they're capable of meeting honestly, and honesty includes acknowledging fear instead of running from it. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because the internal pressure is building on their side, the pressure of knowing that thinking about you without acting forever is not sustainable, and when pressure reaches that point, something always shifts. Don't scroll, stay with me, because this is the calm before expression, the quiet before movement, the moment where awareness prepares to become choice, and choice prepares to become action. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because when that action comes, it won't feel impulsive or confusing, it will feel deliberate, steady, and different from anything you've experienced before. Don't scroll, because the universe is not asking you to anticipate how or when this will unfold, it's asking you to stay emotionally aligned so you can receive it without fear when it does. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because the reason this connection feels heavy at times is because it carries weight, not burden, weight, the kind that anchors instead of destabilizes. Don't scroll, stay with me, because your soulmate is becoming aware that distance is no longer protecting them from feeling, it's only delaying expression, and delay has an expiration point. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. Because when someone realizes that distance hasn't freed them, they begin considering closeness differently, not as risk, but as relief. Don't scroll, because here's the cliffhanger you're standing in now. The next shift will not come from external circumstances, it will come from an internal decision they can no longer postpone, a decision to either step forward with honesty or step away fully to regain peace, and that decision is forming now. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because whichever way it moves, it will move cleanly, clearly, without mixed signals, and clarity is what the universe has been preparing you for all along. Don't scroll, stay with me, because this is not the moment to doubt yourself or rewrite the story in fear. This is the moment to stay grounded, present, and receptive, knowing that if your soulmate can't stop thinking about you, the story has not stalled, it has deepened, and deepening always precedes truth coming to the surface, and when that truth arrives, it will not feel like surprise, it will feel like recognition, as if both of you knew all along that this was where the path was leading. Don't scroll, listen to this, because if you're here for part 4, the universe is no longer whispering to you, it's speaking directly to your soul, and your heart needs this right now in a way that feels both calming and intense, because something has shifted beneath the surface, something irreversible. Listen to this, your soulmate is no longer just thinking about you, they are feeling you in a way they can't compartmentalize anymore. And that is exactly why the distance still exists, not because the connection weakened, but because it has grown so strong it's forcing a reckoning. Don't scroll, stay with me, because this is the stage where emotional truth becomes unavoidable, where distraction stops working, where pretending this is just a thought, or just a phase, collapses under its own weight. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because your soulmate has reached a point where they recognize that whatever this connection is, it has the power to change the trajectory of their life, and life-changing energy doesn't get handled casually. Don't scroll, because here's the shocking part most people never talk about. When someone realizes a connection could alter their identity, their future, their emotional patterns, the first instinct is often to pause, to step back, to create distance. Not to escape you, but to understand themselves. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because your soulmate is asking themselves questions they've never asked with anyone else, questions like, am I ready to be seen this deeply, and, can I meet this level of honesty without losing control? And those questions are heavy, sacred, and destabilizing. Don't scroll, stay with me, because this is where spiritual awakening deepens into transformation. Awakenings don't just open your eyes, they dismantle illusions, and your soulmate's illusion of emotional safety without vulnerability is breaking. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because distance is the space where that dismantling happens. The space where they confront old wounds, patterns of avoidance, fears of abandonment, fears of not being enough, fears of repeating the past, and instead of projecting those fears onto you, they are holding back, trying to heal silently. Don't scroll, because that restraint is not indifference, it's responsibility. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because your soulmate knows that stepping toward you before they're ready could damage something sacred, and they would rather wait than rush and regret. Don't scroll, stay with me, because the universe has been surrounding you with reassurance during this phase, signs meant to steady you so you don't interpret the silence as loss, angel numbers appearing when your thoughts spiral, 111 reminding you this connection was initiated by alignment, not accident. 222 showing up when patience feels heavy but necessary. 444 appearing when you feel strangely calm despite uncertainty. Telling you you are protected in this pause. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because these signs are not asking you to do more, they're asking you to trust deeper. Don't scroll, because here's the emotional revelation that shifts everything. Your soulmate is afraid not of loving you, but of losing themselves in a love that demands growth, truth, and emotional presence, and growth always feels like loss before it feels like expansion. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because the distance is not a wall, it's a processing chamber, a place where fear is being examined instead of acted on. Don't scroll, stay with me, because your soulmate is noticing something important now, that no matter how much distance they create, the connection doesn't fade, it remains steady, quiet, persistent, and that realization is changing how they see you. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because persistence without pressure is the signature of soul connections. And your energy is doing the work without you having to force anything. Don't scroll, because the universe is aligning. Courage on their side and patience on yours, and those two energies must meet before truth can be spoken cleanly. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because if you've been tempted to doubt yourself, to think, maybe I imagined this, the universe is correcting that narrative gently but firmly. Mutual soul awareness does not arise from imagination alone. Don't scroll, stay with me. Because the reason this phase feels heavy is because it's carrying choice energy. Your soulmate is approaching a moment where thinking will no longer be enough, where silence will no longer protect them, where they must either step forward honestly or step away completely to preserve peace. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because both paths require courage, and courage doesn't come instantly, it builds. Don't scroll, because this is the calm before the truth surfaces, the pause before a conversation, a message, or a shift that feels different from anything before. Not impulsive, not confusing, but intentional. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because when that truth arrives, it won't feel like surprise, it will feel like recognition, like something that's been forming for a long time finally stepping into the light. Don't scroll, stay with me, because part 4 is not about resolution yet, it's about preparation, the universe ensuring that when distance closes, it closes cleanly, without fear driving the outcome. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because you are not being kept at arm's length, you are being held in consideration, weighed with seriousness, respected enough not to be rushed into something half-formed. Don't scroll, because this story is still unfolding, and the next chapter will not be written in silence, it will be written in truth, but truth only arrives when both souls are ready to receive it. Stay grounded, stay open, and trust that distance in divine timing is not separation, it is alignment in progress, and what's coming next will make everything you endured in this phase make sense. Don't scroll, listen to this, because if you've made it to this point, the universe is keeping you here on purpose, and your heart needs this right now in a way that's deeper than reassurance and stronger than hope, because what's unfolding has entered the most emotionally charged phase yet, the phase where distance is no longer about fear alone, but about choice. Listen to this, your soulmate is no longer unconsciously circling the connection, they are consciously aware that you occupy space in their mind and heart that no one else does, and that awareness is forcing them to confront something they can't postpone any longer. Don't scroll, stay with me, because this is where the tension you've been feeling finally makes sense. The reason they can't stop thinking about you is because your energy has become a reference point. Everything else in their emotional world is now being compared to how they feel when they think of you. And that comparison is unsettling. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because when someone realizes that one person has become the emotional standard, the bar by which everything else is measured, it creates pressure, not pressure from you, but pressure from truth. Don't scroll, because here's the part most people never understand. Distance at this stage isn't about pushing you away, it's about testing themselves, testing whether they can resist something that feels real. And resistance only happens when the pull is strong. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because your soulmate is trying to determine whether this connection is something they want or something they are meant to face, and those are two very different things. Don't scroll, stay with me, because wanting can be postponed, but being meant for something creates restlessness, emotional friction, and a sense that time is tightening. And that's exactly what's happening now. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because internally they are oscillating between two truths, one that says, this feels safe and familiar, and another that says, this could change everything, and change, even good change, can feel threatening when it requires growth. Don't scroll, because the universe has been preparing both of you for this moment through subtle signs, repeated angel numbers appearing when you're thinking about them without effort. 111 when the idea of new beginnings feels both exciting and terrifying. 222 when patience is being tested, but balance still holds. 444 when you feel grounded despite the unknown. Those numbers are not distractions, they are stabilizers. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because they are stabilizing you while pressure builds on them. Don't scroll, because your soulmate is now aware that distance hasn't lessened the connection, it has clarified it. They've tried to focus elsewhere, tried to rationalize the feelings, tried to tell themselves it will pass, and yet your presence remains. Quiet but persistent, like a truth that won't go away just because it's inconvenient. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because persistence without force is one of the strongest signs of a soul connection, and that's why this feels different from anything you've experienced before. Don't scroll, stay with me, because the emotional revelation forming inside them is this. Ignoring you would mean ignoring a part of themselves that woke up when they met you, and that's not something the soul allows easily. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because awakenings don't ask permission, they demand honesty, and honesty is what your soulmate is wrestling with now. Honesty about their readiness, their fears, their capacity to show up fully instead of halfway. Don't scroll, because this is where the distance starts to feel heavy to them, not just to you. Holding back requires energy, emotional restraint requires effort, and that effort becomes exhausting when feelings don't fade. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because exhaustion is often the precursor to truth being spoken. When maintaining distance costs more than stepping forward. Don't scroll, stay with me, because the universe is compressing the timeline now, not rushing it, but tightening it, creating circumstances where avoidance no longer feels neutral, where staying silent feels like an active choice instead of a passive one. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because your soulmate is approaching a realization that will change how they move, either toward you or away with finality, and that's why this phase feels intense. Don't scroll, because this is the moment where many connections either deepen or dissolve, and the deciding factor is not attraction, it's courage, courage to be seen, courage to risk vulnerability, courage to step into the unknown instead of retreating to emotional safety. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because your soulmate is not unaware of the risk. They know that stepping closer could lead to joy or pain, growth or disruption, but staying distant guarantees stagnation, and that realization is sharpening their focus. Don't scroll, stay with me, because while you may be wondering what you should do, the universe is not asking you to chase, prove, or perform, it's asking you to remain aligned, grounded, and receptive, because whatever happens next will require emotional steadiness. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because when your soulmate finally acts, it won't be impulsive, it won't be chaotic, it will come from a place of clarity forged through this very tension. Don't scroll, because the silence you're experiencing is not empty, it's dense with meaning, dense with internal conversations, emotional sorting, and spiritual reckoning. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because the universe does not allow soul connections to linger in limbo forever. Eventually something must move, either toward union or toward release, and both are acts of alignment. Don't scroll, stay with me, because the cliffhanger you're standing in now is this. The next shift will not come from signs or thoughts, it will come from action, a message, a conversation, a change in behavior that feels unmistakably intentional. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because when that action arrives, it will feel different from anything before, not tentative, not confusing, but grounded, like someone who has finally decided to stop fighting what they feel. Don't scroll, because the universe is not teasing you, it's preparing you, preparing your nervous system, your expectations, your heart, so that when truth arrives, you don't panic or overthink, you recognize it. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because you are not waiting in vain, you are waiting in alignment, and alignment always has an expiration point where movement becomes inevitable. Don't scroll, stay with me, because this story has not stalled, it has intensified. And intensity without chaos is a sign of something real, something meant to be handled with care. And when this phase breaks open, you'll understand why distance existed, why patience mattered, and why the universe asked you to trust even when answers were delayed, because what's coming next is not confusion, it's clarity, and clarity changes everything. Don't scroll, listen to this, because if you've reached this moment, the universe has kept you here intentionally, and your heart needs this right now in a way that goes beyond reassurance and moves straight into truth, because what's unfolding has reached a point where distance can no longer hide the connection. Listen to this, your soulmate is no longer just aware of how often they think about you. They are becoming aware of how much effort it takes not to reach out, and that awareness is heavy, it's uncomfortable, it's exhausting, and that's why this phase feels so intense. Don't scroll, stay with me, because this is the stage where silence stops being neutral and starts becoming a decision, and your soulmate feels that pressure internally even if you don't see it externally. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because they have reached the point where holding back is costing them emotional energy. The same energy they thought distance would preserve, and when restraint becomes heavier than vulnerability, something always shifts. Don't scroll, because here's what's happening inside them now. The thoughts of you are no longer gentle or occasional, they are persistent, arriving uninvited, showing up in moments of quiet, in moments of stress, in moments of reflection, and your presence has become a constant emotional reference point. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because when someone reaches this phase, they are no longer asking, "Do I miss them?" They are asking, "Why am I fighting this?" And that question changes everything. Don't scroll, stay with me, because the distance you feel is now being questioned by them as well. they are beginning to realize that space hasn't given them clarity, it has only amplified awareness, it hasn't quieted their feelings, it has sharpened them, and that realization is destabilizing in the best possible way. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. Because destabilization is how old emotional structures break down to make room for something new. Don't scroll, because the universe has been preparing you for this phase too, through moments of unexpected calm, through signs that arrive when you stop overthinking, angel numbers appearing when you're grounded instead of anxious, 111 when hope feels quiet but strong, 222 when patience feels possible even without answers, 444 when you feel protected despite uncertainty. Those are not coincidences, they are confirmations that this process is still aligned. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because the universe is stabilizing you while internal pressure builds on their side. Don't scroll, because your soulmate is now confronting a truth they can no longer avoid. That distance has not made you less important, it has made you more defined, more present, more undeniable, and that is uncomfortable when you were hoping space would give you an escape route. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because escape routes close when something is meant to be faced. Don't scroll, stay with me, because this is the phase where fear and desire collide directly, not subtly, not quietly, but head-on. Your soulmate wants closeness, but closeness would require vulnerability, honesty, and a willingness to be changed, and change is what they have been resisting. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because resistance does not mean rejection. It means the old version of them is fighting to survive, and awakenings always threaten the old self. Before they liberate the new one, don't scroll, because your soulmate is reviewing their life now through a different lens, noticing what feels empty, what feels misaligned, what feels safe but stagnant, and your presence highlights that contrast even more clearly. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because contrast is what forces choice. Don't scroll, stay with me, because the emotional truth forming inside them is this. Continuing to think about you without acting is no longer sustainable, it's creating inner tension they can't keep suppressing, and suppression always has an expiration point. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because when that expiration point is reached, expression becomes inevitable, not dramatic, not impulsive, but honest. Don't scroll, because the universe does not allow soul connections to remain unresolved indefinitely. Eventually energy demands resolution, either through movement toward each other or a clean release that restores peace, and your soulmate knows this now. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because they are standing at the edge of that realization, understanding that distance is no longer protecting them from pain, it's only delaying truth. Don't scroll, stay with me, because this is where the internal dialogue intensifies. Questions like, what am I really afraid of, and what happens if I don't take this chance, start surfacing, and those questions are impossible to ignore once they appear. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because the universe has shifted the energy from contemplation to decision, and decision energy feels heavier, more urgent, more charged. Don't scroll, because this is also the phase where your own growth matters deeply. You are being asked not to collapse into anxiety or over-anticipation, but to stay rooted, grounded, emotionally regulated, so that when truth arrives, you can receive it without fear hijacking the moment. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because whatever comes next will require steadiness, not intensity, presence, not performance. Don't scroll, stay with me, because the next shift will not come as a sign, a number, or a subtle hint, it will come as action, a message, a conversation, a change in behavior that feels unmistakably intentional. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because when that action arrives, it will feel different from anything before, not tentative, not confusing, but grounded, like someone who has stopped running internally and chosen honesty. Don't scroll, because the universe has been preparing both of you for this moment, dismantling fear on one side and strengthening trust on the other. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because if you've been wondering whether the distance means you should give up, the answer is no. Distance at this stage means the decision is forming, not fading. Don't scroll, stay with me, because this story is not losing momentum, it is condensing into truth, and truth always arrives after pressure has done its work. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because when this phase breaks, it will break cleanly, either opening a door forward or closing it with clarity, and clarity, even when it's painful, is a form of alignment. Don't scroll, because you are not waiting without purpose, you are waiting at the edge of resolution, and resolution is closer than it feels. Stay grounded, stay open, and trust that if your soulmate can't stop thinking about you, the universe will not allow this connection to remain unspoken forever. Something is about to give, and when it does, everything you endured in the waiting will finally make sense. Don't scroll, listen to this, because if you are here for this moment, the universe has deliberately guided you here, and your heart needs this right now in a way that feels both grounding and electrifying, because what's happening has moved beyond internal pressure and into inevitable revelation. Listen to this, your soulmate is no longer simply thinking about you in silence. They are now feeling the weight of not acting. And that weight is reshaping how they see everything. Don't scroll, stay with me, because this is the phase where the distance you feel externally is colliding with urgency internally, and that collision is not gentle, it's persistent, it's undeniable, it's the kind of tension that forces truth to rise. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because your soulmate is beginning to realize that every attempt to suppress the connection has failed. Distraction hasn't worked, logic hasn't worked, time hasn't worked, and the more they try to move forward without acknowledging you, the louder the pull becomes. Don't scroll, because here's the emotional truth that changes everything. The reason they are still distant is no longer fear alone, it's timing mixed with readiness. They know now that stepping toward you will require them to abandon old emotional armor, old narratives, old safety mechanisms, and once those are gone, there's no going back. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because soul connections don't offer partial entry, they ask for presence, honesty, and courage all at once, and your soulmate is standing at the edge of that threshold. Don't scroll, stay with me, because internally, they are rehearsing conversations they haven't had yet, imagining moments they haven't allowed themselves to want fully, feeling the ache of closeness they haven't earned yet, and that ache is becoming stronger than the comfort of distance. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because when someone reaches this phase, the silence begins to feel dishonest, and dishonesty toward the self becomes unbearable. Don't scroll, because the universe has been surrounding you with grounding energy to prepare you for what comes next, signs appearing not to excite you, but to steady you, angel numbers showing up when you are calm instead of anxious, 111 when you feel a quiet sense of something is coming, 222 when patience feels supported rather than forced, 444 when you feel anchored in yourself regardless of outcome. These are not signals to wait forever, they are signals to stay centered. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because whatever unfolds next will require you to be emotionally present without panic, receptive without attachment to control. Don't scroll, stay with me, because your soulmate is now confronting the cost of continued distance, the cost of not choosing, the cost of leaving something meaningful unresolved. And that cost is no longer theoretical, it's emotional, it's draining. It's heavy. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because when indecision becomes painful, decision becomes necessary. Don't scroll, because this is where the internal narrative shifts on their side, from "I'm not ready" to "what happens if I never do this?" And that question is a turning point. It opens doors fear tried to keep shut. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because the universe does not bring soulmates together only to leave them trapped in silence forever. It brings them together to awaken truth, and truth always demands expression eventually. Don't scroll, stay with me, because the energy between you is now asking for resolution, not drama, not intensity, but honesty, an honest step forward or an honest release, and both require courage. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because your soulmate is beginning to understand that staying distant doesn't preserve peace anymore, it prolongs unrest, and unrest is not something the soul tolerates for long. Don't scroll, because this is also the phase where your own intuition is sharpening. You may feel moments of clarity where you suddenly know you don't need to chase or prove anything. Moments where you feel steady in yourself regardless of outcome. And that steadiness is not detachment, it's alignment. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because alignment is what allows truth to land cleanly instead of chaotically. Don't scroll, stay with me, because the universe has been aligning courage on their side and emotional grounding on yours, and when those two energies meet, something shifts externally. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because the next movement will not be subtle, it won't be hidden in signs or numbers or quiet thoughts, it will show up in behavior, a message that feels intentional, a conversation that feels overdue, a moment where the distance is acknowledged instead of ignored. Don't scroll, because when that moment arrives, it will feel different from everything before, not confusing, not ambiguous, but clear, grounded, and purposeful. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because clarity is what the universe has been preparing you for, clarity that allows you to respond from truth instead of fear. Don't scroll, stay with me, because even now, your soulmate is closer to speaking than they've ever been, not because fear disappeared, but because avoiding truth has become harder than facing it. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because courage doesn't arrive as confidence, it arrives as willingness, willingness to be honest even when the outcome isn't guaranteed. Don't scroll, because this phase is not about waiting helplessly, it's about staying emotionally available without forcing direction, trusting that when someone cannot stop thinking about you, the universe will not allow that energy to remain unexpressed forever. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because whatever comes next will not erase the distance instantly, but it will redefine it, transforming silence into understanding, uncertainty into clarity. Don't scroll, stay with me, because this is not the end of the story, this is the moment right before truth steps into the open, and when it does, you will finally understand why the waiting existed, why the distance mattered, and why the universe asked you to stay grounded instead of reactive, because what's coming next is not confusion, it's resolution, and resolution changes everything, one way or another, and either way, it brings alignment, peace, and the next chapter your soul has been preparing for all along.